Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my September 2020 book haul. So I bought a few more books than I planned. I bought about 13. A few of them were known that I was going to buy them because they were pre-orders, but most of the stuff is just kind of stuff I picked up along the way that I didn't mean to. I just decided I got to a certain point during the month and started buying a lot of stuff online. So I did buy also a couple bookish things. I did buy, let's see if I can get this to show, the Victober t-shirt. Anyway, that Pixie Hollow has created. I will link her Etsy shop down below. I also got a bookmark from her, which is in my Wagner the Werewolf. Anyway, so it was really kind of cute. So one more chapter. So it is in my my Penny Dreadful serial number novel. And then I also picked up a large book sleeve from Lindsay at Lindsay's Little Library. I'd seen her other times, but I have a smaller one, but this one's like a really big one. And Wagner the Werewolf actually fits inside of it. So if I get to the point where I'm carrying around a book that's bigger than a normal trade paperback, I have a bigger one now too as well. So I got that. I saw a video online that she put on, when she put on. So I will have her Etsy shop also linked below. Anyway, so those are kind of bookish things I don't usually buy, but I do like the shirt and I like my bookmark and I like my book sleeve. So that was fun. When I went to one of my local used bookstores to pick up a pre-order, I found 3 books that were all $1 each on their clearance rack. I got Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I've always wanted to read that. I didn't watch the movie. It was not, at that time, that was not the kind of movies I watched. I still don't. Not the kind of movies I watch, but I kind of want to read the book after reading Big Magic by her, and I am kind of interested in some of her other books. I also got In the Heart of the Sea, The Tragedy of the Whaling Essex by Nathaniel Pilbrick. Pilbrick is one of my favorite nonfiction historians that I've read several books of his. I have a couple more that I want to read. This is one of the ones I think I have this on audio, but I got it for $1, so I figured I'd have the book to follow along with. I didn't know. I just which I like to do. So anyway, and then I also picked up Joan Didion, Blue Nights. I read her The Year of Magical Thinking last November. So I think this is another book of, kind of memoirs that I think it follows her, I think it's her daughter's, something happens with her daughter, and I don't quite remember what it is. But anyway, again, I read the other book, which was really heartbreaking to read, but I'm glad I read that one. So I kind of wanted to read her other one that was kind of with that. So then I bought a few books on eBay. Why did I discover eBay? After all these years, I was so good, and then I discovered it. So I picked up a couple historical fictions. I don't know why I'm collecting so many of these, the first books in series of historical fiction series, when I'm not reading a lot of them. So I think I'm going to have to make some kind of list for next year that these are the books I need to read, at least these first books that I bought, all these first books in series that I want to try. So one I just discovered, I don't remember who I saw this on, is Into the Wild by Sarah Donati. Is that right? I'm trying to think where I saw this. I just saw this on somebody's channel and I thought, well, I'll try that. And it was gigantic. It was, talks about a woman in 1792 who, I think she moves to another place and she makes a friend with a white man who dresses like a Native American, and kind of, I think, their situation with their friendship and what goes on with that in that community. And I think there's slavery and other things that are talked about. I think it's a series. I don't know. It seemed pretty cool. Somebody let me know. I just saw that. I picked up another Jean Pleaty novel, which I probably should read some of the ones I have now. But this is To Hold the Crown, the story of King Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. So this is the first book of the Tudors, and again, she's got a pretty long series. Again, this is the same author who wrote under Victoria Holt, as well as Philippa Carr. I read Victoria, like almost all of Victoria Holt's books in my teens, and I still own a lot of old copies of stuff. And I never read the Jean Pleaty novels, and even though I knew that that was one of her pseudonyms, you know, so I don't know why I never got to them. So now I have like 3. So I'm going to try, I have this series, and then I think I have, well, no, I have 4 books altogether. Some other series. So I think I'm gonna try one of these, and I hear they were very, very popular. I never got to them, and I don't know why. And again, for some reason I'm buying historical fiction kick. And then the other one I picked up was The Summer Queen by Elizabeth Chadwick. This is a novel of Eleanor of Aquitaine, and I saw this on Emma at a Cup of Books, and it starts with her childhood of Eleanor. And I think she becomes the Queen of France. And then later, somehow she becomes the Queen of England. I'm not quite sure. I don't know my history on this that much. And so I'm kind of going into this kind of blind. But I know her name, but I don't know anything about her kind of thing. So it's like one of those things where I probably should get a fiction book and also read that as well, but a non-fiction book. But this series, she says, is a good trilogy altogether. So I thought I'd pick up the first book. So yeah. Those are all my historical fictions that I bought. So then going into the new books, let's talk about the ones I just randomly bought this month. I bought the next book in the Bridgerton series by Julia Quinn, The Viscount Who Loved Me. So this follows the main character, Daphne's, her older brother, who's, you know, in charge of the family, and his love story in this Regency romance. So I'm looking forward to this. Again, I had issues with the first book on certain things, but I liked it enough to continue to see if I can get through the next book. So I bought the second book to see, to try to get to that in the near future, hopefully, and try to see if I can, it brings more love to the first book. Because I liked the first book a lot. There just was a couple of things that I just really had trouble with, but anyway. And then I bought the autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley. I've been meaning to get a copy of this for years, and I just never got around to it. So I think I'm going to use one of my credits to get the audiobook that is read by Lawrence Fishburne so that I could read it listen to it during a nonfiction November. But it's one of those ones where I feel like I meant to read this like years ago, and I didn't get around to it, and then I didn't have a copy, so I don't know if I ever owned one or I just assumed I did. I couldn't find it, so I just bought another copy, or I bought a copy so that I'd have one. And then a book I got, probably when everybody's Victober TBR started going up, and I forgot this was on the list of something I wanted to read, but it's not Victober. I think this must have been more of the spooky ones, the spooky reads. And that is The Vampire and Other Tales of the Macabre by John Polidori. This is one of the, I think, a friend of Mary Shelley and Percy Shelley in there. I think he was there. I think he was there on when the Frankenstein idea was the first story of that. I'm not positive. I can't remember how that whole goes. Anyway, but he had a vampire story, and it's supposed to be one of the first ones. I just can't remember if it technically turns out to be the first. Yeah, his vampire story was in the same competition as Frankenstein. So I've always wanted to read this, and I just have not gotten around to it. I finally picked up a copy. So it was probably when people were talking about spooky reads, and it just popped up. And then I had 3 pre-orders. I got Fangs by Sarah Anderson. I've already read this. I'm probably going to reread it sometime this month again. It has to do with a 300-year-old vampire falling in love with a werewolf. And they're just so cute. Like, they just have cute pictures. They're just so cute together. They're just, like, she's all for death and everything, and he's all for blood. And it was just, blood and, sorry, he has more guts and she's more blood. Anyway, point is a vampire and a werewolf with a romance. It's just cute. I just so enjoy those. She's the same person who does the Sarah Scribbles. So that series. So, but I like that one. Oh, I forgot. I did buy this one as well. Sorry, this was not a pre-order. So this is what I bought for Victober. So this is My Dearest, Dearest Albert, Queen Victoria's life through her letters and journals, compiled by Karen Dolby. So I bought this for the prompt of letters or journals for Victober. So this just has letters and journal entries from her, and so it looks like it's, I mean, it's not like, it's not super dense, but it's like it's one I want to try to start and then just pick it up here and there and read once in a while. Like I'm not going to read it like all the time, but like, or straight, but it's like something, I don't know. I could have probably picked up some of this on ebook, but I don't know. I just was feeling buy happy, so I bought the little hardback. Anyway. And then another pre-order I had was Mad and Bad Real Heroines of the Regency by B. Cook. Sorry. So this again, she is one of the owners of the Ripped Bodice down in LA. I've yet to get there. I wasn't there the last time I was in LA, so it's been a long time since I've been there. And then, but this is her history on some women who lived in that time period. I got a little bookmark from them. I pre-ordered it from them, so it is, I swear she signed it, yeah, when I got a sticker. But, so I got a little, signed. Anyway, I probably paid quite a bit for this over because I got it shipped to me, and it was from an independent bookstore, and I don't have any problem with that on certain instances. So anyway, I'm hoping to read this. I might, if I get to it in Nonfiction November, that's great. If not, I'll read it for Jane Austen July next year. So we'll see. And then the last one, of course, was my highly anticipated book of September, was The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. This is the first book in an epic fantasy that follows, has magic that is bone shards, that the Empire takes a bone shard from every person, and they are able to use that with magic to make constructs of huge proportions and or you know, like living creatures and stuff with that. And there's a lot of political stuff going on here. Lynn is one of the main characters, who is the daughter to the Emperor, but she is not the heir because she had some illness that has stolen her earlier memories, so he doesn't want to hand over power to her, but she's fighting for position. And then there's some people out in this is like an island nation, so there's who are dealing with other things, and there's a smuggler that we meet in the second and third chapter. I really was going to read this month. I'm really disappointed in myself, but with everything that's going on, my mind would not settle on a fantasy of this magnitude. So I probably will not get to read this until December, but that is my goal right now. She's almost finished with the second book, so hopefully we'll get that maybe next year. Again, it's a trilogy. Andrea Stewart is one of my friends. I was in a writing group with her in Sacramento, so we are friends, but I have never read any of this until, you know, I read the first chapter online and then I got the book. So I do want to read this and support. I was really enjoying what I read, the first 2 chapters, but as I said, it was just not the time for me to be reading epic fantasy. I just couldn't sink into it at the time. So it was better though I went to shorter books and so other ones that were completed. So I didn't feel, you know, that, oh, it's not done. But it's, you know, as I said, it was really good so far. I've seen a lot of really great reviews here on BookTube on it. Again, I've stayed away from all the spoilers because I don't want to know anything, because I don't know anything. So that's about all I can say. But I really am looking forward to getting to this. And again, as I said, I supported her by buying the pre-order hardback from a local bookstore. Anyway, so those are all the books that I got. As I said, I think it was 13 and then a couple of extra little items. Did you guys get anything good in September? Have you read any of these books? Anything you think I should read sooner rather than later? Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.